episode of How About That? I'm your host and producer, Vinnie Langdon, here on the Manhattan Neighborhood Network. And I have a fun episode for you guys. I think you guys will really enjoy. I have an old friend of mine, and we met exactly almost 10 years ago. And when I was doing another show called The Vinnie Langdon Show out in California. And when I first heard him sing, and believe it or not, the first time I ever heard him sing was off of a MySpace demo that his band sent me. And I was thinking, okay, I was listening to it, and all of a sudden, halfway through the words, he gets to the high notes, and I go, damn, this dude sounds like Aerosmith. He sounds like Steven Tyler. I have to get him on my show. And over the few years, I've seen him many times in concerts, even went on the road, went to a few shows, and we had a lot of great memories. We're going to be talking about that here on this episode. But Joe, welcome to the show, and introduce the audience to everyone that's watching, who you are.
Thanks, Vinny. So my name is Joe Carlson. I'm currently in a band called Caeview. This is my project. When Vinny and I met, I was actually in a band called Vanishing Affair, and that's kind of when we started hitting the road, getting going. It was awesome, but now here we are, 10 years later, in a different band, new project, new design, a whole new thing. It's gonna be great.
Right. And for you, it's pretty interesting because we had multiple conversations as you were going through the process of forming this band, and you were kind of looking at it as more of a concept band, not just the music aspect of it, and kind of give the fans a little bit insight more about that and what you were going for.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, Caeview in itself is an idea. When you think about the name, K is actually an island, and view is the view from that island. And what it represents is everybody has problems in their life. Everybody goes through trials. Everybody goes through things. And that boat is the problem. And you're sailing towards this island. And when you get to this island, it's like a release, but that boat is still there. So all you have to do is set that boat on fire and just set it out, and it eventually goes away, and you can start your life over again and start without any trials or anything that you have going, kind of start over new. So Caeview is actually the view from the island after you've reached your final destination. A lot of the songs, a lot of the lyrics and everything are dedicated and about people going through real life problems and going through, whether it be, abuse, divorce, suicide, a whole bunch of things that people are going through, that they can really kind of help them get through that process and know that there's somebody there that's been there and has dealt with that. And this song is dedicated to you type deal.
Gotcha. So give us a background for those who are probably going, before I go online and look this dude up, what is his background? Where did he come from? First of all, you're not here in the New York area. You're out in California, just to be clear.
Definitely.
For those. And tell us your background. I mean, when were you a young child when you first started singing and got into playing in rock bands when you were a teenager? What's the background?
Absolutely, exactly that. I started singing when I was really young. I was singing in church choirs and in a whole bunch of different types of things. You know how you grow up going to church, you grow up singing and doing those things. And I did that for a long time. And then after that, I was in the jazz program in high school, and we toured in the jazz program for a long time in a jazz choir where I actually sung like my own part, and then kind of changed the part. I had to have the ears to be able to hear different parts and kind of get used to that. And I had solos and stuff like that. And that's what really got me into trying to be a vocalist, as a solo vocalist or in a band. And then I met Alan Wheeler. And once I met Alan Wheeler, my life kind of changed a little bit. I had just gotten married. I had met Alan. We were living in the same area, and he and I kind of hit it off, and we started Vanishing Affair. And since then, I've been singing in rock bands ever since. And that was actually in 2006 when I met Alan.
Very cool. Now, you were mentioning, being in a choir, and, there is a huge difference for those who do not know of, singing with, your friends, your classmates, and then all of a sudden that bright, shiny spotlight, hits your forehead and everyone's eyes are on you, everyone's ears are to you, and the pressure is on. And I know, I'm sure that was like a big step out of your comfort zone for you when you decided, hey, I want to solo and I want to just do my own thing and I want the attention on me. And, take us back to that. What was that like?
So it was crazy because I was doing the jazz choir solo thing. I had solos, or I'd step out of the choir, but then you'd always step back in and get comfortable back in your line, of like 6 to 8 people or however many people were in it. And I remember when I first went into Vanishing Affair, Alan was like, "That's the focus is on you, so you have to figure it out." And the first couple of shows we did before we were playing the bigger shows is we were playing in like garages and stuff like that, like in back alleys and crazy things in San Jose and stuff like that. And Alan, I sucked. Like I totally bombed him. Like it was really bad. And as far as like stage presence goes, because I just wasn't used to it, and I wasn't used to pumping up the crowd and getting them going and getting them excited. And I just figured they would already be excited when they came to the show. And so I actually watched a lot of Linkin Park videos and Papa Roach videos and stuff like that to try to see those two vocalists, because both of those vocalists, amazing vocalists and amazing frontman. And so I kind of tried to imitate them, I guess, and try to be more like them and have that type of stage presence. And that's kind of how I overcame that fear of being on stage and being the limelight of being the vocalist. That's like a huge deal.
Right. And I think that's important. A lot of times the differences between a band that stands out when you go to a show compared to one of those, just you call them the ordinary band, is when you're standing in the back of a club or a venue. You want to be a part of the show, you want to be a part of something. And I always, as a concert goer, I look to that. You might go because you want to see the headlining band and that's why you paid the big bucks, but you're going to be there at a show for 4 or 5 hours and you're hoping that that first band gets you going. And there's always not just the performers on stage, but the crowd itself even has a part of adrenaline in us where you're going, man, I hope the first band's good. And sometimes if they're just up there and of course they have a shorter set, so they might be just playing 3 or 4 songs, they might get up, do their thing. But if they don't pull you in or get you hyped up for the next band, even, it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to forget them. So when you were in Vanishing Affair, that was one thing you had to do was, overcome that obstacle of, being a front man, being a performer, not just a singer and a musician, right?
Yep, absolutely. I remember we were playing with Trapped in San Jose, and it was a pretty packed show. I mean, the show was packed, and we were opening for Trapped, and everybody was there to see Trapped. Nobody was there to really, I mean, people wanted to see us, but they were more there to see Trapped, And so we had to pump them up to get them excited. And by the end of our set, I mean, I remember people were just jumping around. We had mosh pits going, we had stuff happening. It was great. It was like old school shows, rock shows, people getting out there and just really getting into the music. And then Trap came on and killed it too. It was, it was great. It was a really, really good show and a good set.
That is fun. And, after the night, of course, everyone gets tired and they're just like, oh, I'm exhausted. But, it's important. I mentor and help a lot of bands out there. And I said, you can't go run back to your car, for smokes or, go hug your girlfriend at the end of the set. You got to stick around and watch every band that's performing after you and support those bands, because you never know if they'll have another show in 2 weeks or 5 years from now and they'll remember stuff like that. And even the fans remember things like that, the small things. So give some of the local bands, the small bands, whether they're here in New York or they're watching this online from Australia and they're just starting out. I know, of course, we're living in this odd time where concerts aren't going on except for this virtual
Mm-hmm.
stuff, but take us back 6 months ago. What advice would you give them for just I guess, earning your respect as a local band?
I think the biggest thing is you always have to be supportive whether you're into the music or not. I mean, they're out there making their dream happen, just like you're out there making your dream happen. And whether it's something you love or hate, you have to be out there supporting them. And one of the things that I used to do and that we used to try to do at every show is take pictures of the band like that are performing, take pictures of the local band that's performing with you, post it on your Facebook page, post it and say, hey, these guys are awesome, check them out, or this show is great, we love these guys and stuff. And that builds the friendship between you guys, because really that's all you have is your relationship with other bands when you're out there, because they're booking shows, you're booking shows. When they're asking for support, when you're asking for support, you can just have that camaraderie and be able to book for each other and help each other out. And when you have a headlining show, you know, you have bands that you can call and say, hey, do you want to be a support for us? Stuff like that and all that stuff. And they have that, you have that reputation. So always support them, stay, don't go home. So, you know, you got to sell your merch. So go sit at your merch table and watch the bands and then, you know, help them out. Or however, if you have people selling your merch, then just stand in the audience and watch the band, because they're putting on a show too.
Right. And talk to us about what you're going through right now with building this new band up and developing, you got to get a whole new social media platform behind you and, a following. And I'm sure that's hard because a lot of people that know you from Vanishing Affair are going, well, it's not the same members and it's different and the music might be a little bit different than what their ears are used to. And are you going through any struggles with that, trying to, start from ground zero again and get that reputation back up?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's interesting to start from where we were, because at the end of Vanishing Affair, we were, playing bigger shows and touring and doing other things, and then it just kind of all ended. But now going through it again, it is kind of a struggle, putting your name out there on Facebook and having people go, oh, I thought I saw you in a band once before and stuff like that, and going through that. But it's I think when they hear the music, when the music comes out and they actually understand and hopefully support the cause that comes along with it, then they'll be involved, they'll be invested, they'll come back on board, and they'll say, hey, you know what, I'm in this. Alan Wheeler was in Vanishing Affair, he is in this project too. There's the other member, we haven't really decided on other members for the project yet. We're still trying to build it, we're still trying to get it up and going. Right now we have studio musicians that are playing the other parts, and then also playing us live shows when we do have live shows, to have those studio musicians kind of fill in for now, until we can find the right members to be a part of the project. But a lot of the members from Vanishing Affair are also in another great band, Among the First, and Alan is also in that band, and so support them too. And we're involved with them just as much as they're involved with us. So it's pretty cool to be able to work with some of the old members from Vanishing Affair and kind of see where things are going in different directions, kind of.
Yeah, that is fun. Well, we're going to take a quick break right now because I'm sure the audience is probably anxious and curious what you sound like. And, a couple months back, you said, Vinny, I'm working on a video. We want to come to you and shoot a video. And then, of course, coronavirus comes and it's like,
Yep.
flights are canceled, no hotels, can't do nothing. So we decided with technology, just like I'm producing this show over Zoom, I said, hey, why don't you take your phone, go film yourself singing the words, and we'll make a lyric video and we'll start with that. And so we're going to go ahead and play that video right now. And when we come back, we'll talk about that song, where you guys can listen to more of Caeview and a little bit more about Joe's experience here on How About That.
Piercing my thoughts again, I try to forget you, the memory you left behind. I face all my demons, rip me to pieces, fracture my fragile. But I keep waiting, and all you watch is break me down. They break me down. Alone with my thoughts once more. keep waiting. And all your words just break me down. They break me down, and you keep hating. I'm trying to get to you somehow, but you break me
Wow. Wow, man. That's pretty exciting stuff right there. So, uh, I'm sure, I mean, when I first listened to that, I was thinking, relationships and I mean, even just friendships of people that let you down and disappoint you, and you think this friend's going to be my friend forever, and something happens, there's a clash, two gladiators
Yep,
colliding, and you're going,
exactly.
man, that person really hurt me, and you know uh, tell us about that song Break Me Down, what it means to you.
Well, the song basically is about a relationship that's failing, and it could be a relationship between you and your spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever that you're into ending, and the pain that you're going through in your mind at the time. Because anybody that's been in a serious relationship and has been in a place in their mind where they've been with somebody for so long and then all of a sudden it's just over, in your mind you break down, you start questioning things, you start going, why is this happening, what is happening here, like where is this going, what am I supposed to do? And that's what I wanted to show in that song. It starts off all soft, it starts off, they're, he's singing about it, and then all of a sudden boom, and like in the court or in the breakdown he starts screaming about it, like why this isn't, your mind just breaking down, like how is this supposed to be this way? And I feel like anybody who's been in that situation knows exactly how that feels. And that's kind of what I wanted to portray in the song.
Right. When people tell you get over it or they don't understand what you mean, you can say, well, I'm going to write a song and you'll definitely understand how I feel.
Exactly. Exactly.
That is
Yep.
very cool. So I got to ask you, with Caeview and the direction you're heading, are we going to be, expecting some acoustic versions of that song? Are we going to be expecting, mostly songs that sound similar to that? Or what's the vibe you're going for, and what have you been working on so far?
So absolutely. So there will be acoustic versions of the song, piano, guitar, stuff like that. But I am going to go in a heavier direction, a little more screaming, a little more breakdown stuff, just to have it be a little bit, not super metal, like not gent or anything like that. Just have a little round mix of everything. Basically, I'm just trying to write good songs that relate to people, and whatever style that comes out is the style that it's going to be. There's a song right now that I'm working on called Old Flame, and it's in a definite different direction. And then there's a song that will be released here pretty soon, probably even before this video is released, but it's called Breathe. And that one is going to be out too. And that is another situation where you're kind of stuck in a situation and you just need to breathe to get through it. And but it also shows the diversity in your mind. Like, I'm okay, and then I'm not okay, and then I'm okay, and then all of a sudden, boom, I'm not okay again. And so it's going to be pretty much the same vibe of what you're hearing, but with a little more heavy guitars.
Very cool. And I think, some people are all for that. They're like, I love, say a band like Puddle of Mud or Corn or even rapper Exhibit, they're like,
Yeah.
all the songs sound the same and they like that. And then there's other people, like a band like Fallen in Reverse, where, the dude's playing a country rock ballad, and then it goes to, what the kids are calling crunk core to, metal to hard rock. And also, I mean, everyone has different tastes, and that's what's great about music. And, if people do enjoy that song, you're building up that fan base over on Facebook. You can tell everyone a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we do have a Facebook page. It's just Caeview, and it's at Facebook. I release pictures, like some of the stuff that you can see on there, the artwork and stuff. It kind of goes through like a spacey type theme, not too much like a Starset type space theme, but more along the lines of just like a kind of a, I want to say steampunkish space type deal. So that way it has a theme that kind of goes with it. And then also the really macabre, dark images, like the one on the CD really, or on the song release that just happened with the person who's kind of suffocating. So I release stuff like that, quotes, stuff. That's where the videos will be when the videos release, also on our YouTube channel. We do have a email that's set up, and it's just Joe Carlson at caeviewmusic.com. You can email me there if you want more information about it. But there's a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be in the works with trying to get more people involved with the music videos too. So if you're interested in getting involved and telling your story and having your, if you've been through something, email me about it, or, message me on Facebook. I'd love to hear your story, because I'll support you and definitely write music that gears towards you if you want to be a part of it. This is more like a community type vibe. I really want this to be about the fans and about the music.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Joe, it was great chatting with you. I'm sure we could share lots of other fun stories together, to the audience about, the Vanishing Affair days. Your band used to play and played at my sister's wedding. I was actually looking through old footage of that, and
Yeah,
a lot of
we
good
did.
times, man.
We did. We had good times.
On your business card, you're gonna write Caeview for funerals to weddings to
Exactly.
whatever. So
Whatever you need, I will be there.
there you go. Clowns were the thing, growing up when we were kids. You wanted a clown at your party. Well, now you can have a rock and roll band at your party. That's
Rock
the
and roll
new
band.
thing.
We're
There you
there.
go, man.
Hands down.
All right. Any last words to the audience in New York? Hopefully, Caeview will come out and play at the PlayStation Theater or the Bitter End or one of these amazing venues here.
We'd love to do that. Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in and checking us out. Please go to our Facebook page, like us. Thank you, Vinnie, for having me on. And it's awesome, man. It's just like good old days getting back together again. It's awesome, man. I love it. So hopefully coronavirus will end soon. And, we give a shout out to anybody who's had loved ones that have suffered from it. We support you, and hopefully you're doing well. But thank you so much for tuning in, and check us out on Facebook. Like us and see what we have.
All right, man. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of How About That.